Welcome back to Music Minute at Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministries. We're glad that you've joined us today as we take a look at our hymns for tomorrow in our online worship. And tomorrow starts Advent. So here we are, 4 weeks of Advent. And this really continues with the end times theme that we saw from Christ the King last week. So tomorrow we will start with gathering of Lo He Comes with Clouds Descending. And this is another Charles Wesley tune that you might recall from previous Music Minutes that we've talked about him. He's had several hymns that we've featured. And this is a Methodist hymn tune. So the story goes, it's attributed to Thomas Olivers. And they say that he was out in the street and he heard these notes whistled on the street, and he created this tune based on what he heard whistled. Well, the truth might have been what he heard whistled on the street might have actually been the tune, because it actually existed 2 years earlier than we actually saw it in a hymnal. So we don't know because we can't go ask those people. They're not here, obviously. So we'll just go with the story as it is. It's named for Helmsley, which is a town in northern England. And Thomas that wrote this tune, his parents died before he was 4, so he was orphaned, and he was actually apprenticed as a shoemaker. So this was a definite second career for him, and one that was fairly successful. As you hear this, many different treatments. Tomorrow in online worship, you'll hear the sort of grand, big, brassy kind of sound. Today we're going to hear it on the piano. So here we have Lo He Comes with Clouds Descending. Our next hymn tomorrow is God the Sculptor of the Mountains, and this is a newer tune written in 1993, and its author actually had just been to Alaska for the first time, and that's sort of where the genesis of this was, because he was thinking, how do I describe God? And the first thing that came to mind were all the mountains that he had seen in Alaska, so thus the sculptor of the mountains. However, he went further than that, so it wasn't just the physical presence and physical creation of what God had done, but it was also the salvation history, God as seen in the Eucharist, and God seen as Christ. So those all came together. There were a couple lines that did not make the final cut of the hymn, which I find interesting. One is, God, the downdraft of the eagle, because he had just seen his first bald eagle and was amazed by the beauty of that flight of that eagle, but that didn't make the last cut. The other one was God, the Unexpected Infant, so looking at the eyes from Mary. But those, again, did not make the final cut. In 2005, this author actually went to Cameroon, West Africa, and went to assist with about 20 different congregations there in creating the first worship book and hymnal that they had. So that was a fun project for him. The hymn itself, once the words were written, it was written to a different tune than what you're going to hear today and tomorrow. This tune was taken to the Hymn Society with its words, and one of the attendees there, Amanda Herzberg, I think it is, wrote this tune that you will hear, and she thought it reflected it a little bit better. It's the more gospel kind of style that you'll hear. It's named Jennings Houston as the tune name, and that was named for two people in Amanda's church. She frequently wrote hymn tunes for people in her choir. So these were two last names, Jennings and Houston, that this tune name was named for. So we will now move over to the organ for this one. This is God, the Sculptor of the Mountains. This is great fun. I asked Jake if it would be too much today if we did an organ piece and then went to the music room, and he thought that probably would be more movement than you wanted to see bouncing down the hall. So you could thank him for not getting seasick. God, the Sculptor of the Mountains. Mountains and other creation items. All right, we're going to move back to the piano. Sorry, I know, back and forth. So our sending hymn tomorrow, I suspect most of you do know, is Soon and Very Soon. And this was written, again, newer, not as new as that last one. This was written in 1976 by Andre Crouch. And Andre Crouch actually was known for arranging various things of pop stars that you might be familiar with, say Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Soon and Very Soon. So at any rate, he became a minister later on and has written several other gospel-style hymns. And so this will keep your toes tapping, we hope, and hope you enjoy Soon and Very Soon. loud with gusto tomorrow from your living room or kitchen or wherever you're watching on online worship tomorrow, and enjoy that for all it's worth. I will miss those claps coming at all different times during worship tomorrow. That would be wonderful if we could do that, but we can't. So we will see you tomorrow online at 10:30 here on Facebook and our YouTube channel. If you're coming in person, there are still spots left. That's at 10 o'clock. That will also be broadcast in the parking lot if you prefer to sit and listen in the parking lot via your FM radio. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.